Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of the Cinema Geeks. I am your Cinema Geek for this episode, Matthew Fridley Sent. This is just a special little bonus episode. I'm sure you all have heard and enjoyed our Need for Speed episode with just the three guys, and I'm sure you were like, hey, we want another guy. Like, you know, we need another body on this record. A little bit of behind the scenes, peeling back the curtain a little bit for you Cinema Geek fans. TFG1 Mike, co-creator of the Geekcast Radio Network that we are a part of, wanted to be a part of the Need for Speed record. You know, he's a Need for Speed fan, both of the games. He's played a lot more than any of us in the Cinema Geeks. Plus, he enjoys the movie a lot more than we do. And so he wanted to be, I guess, the dissenting positive opinion on that record. But because of scheduling errors, like, we're shooting, or flying by the seat of our pants, I guess is a better way to put it, every record, because of our mixed schedules, we couldn't manage to get Mike into the record. So he sent us a clip to just add in. Like, hey, here's my opinions. It's you know, he's going to set it up a lot like our episode would be, where he'll talk about his way into the games, and then like the first games he played and how he enjoys the series. Then he'll go on from there. And I'm not going to set it up any more than that. I'm just going to drop it in here. So enjoy Mike's opinions.
Hello to the Cinema Geekcast crew. It is I, TFG1 Mike from the Geekcast Radio Network, and I am sending this audio in because you guys kind of sort of wrapped up your video game spotlight series with Need for Speed from 2014. This year marks the 20th anniversary since Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit came out in 1998, which was exactly when I got into the Need for Speed franchise. I then went on to play Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 in 2002, Most Wanted in 2005. I played Undercover in 2008, and then I kind of dropped off after a while because they started basically redoing the franchise. They went back and did another Most Wanted in 2012. They've done like 10 or 12 Hot Pursuits in total at this point. But I've always been a fan of the video game franchise, and I had been dying for a Need for Speed movie, and in 2014 they finally gave it to us. You guys had mentioned several plot points that you had issues with, and I understand those, and that's fine. The plot for me is basically a basic story. Guy gets framed, guy goes to jail, guy gets out and wants, to right a wrong kind of a thing. You had said, why is Batman in this movie? Or the Vulture, if you want to go with Spider-Man Homecoming, Michael Keaton. He's an eccentric billionaire without a Batcave, essentially. And what I noticed on this rewatch of the film, because I've seen this movie at this point 10 times in the last 4 years, I just love watching it. It's just a really cool movie to me. I noticed that the end race, the final race, ends at Monarch's location, the lighthouse. I had not realized that the lighthouse and the farm before, at the end of it, was where he is in California. One of you guys, I think it was Matt or Dan, I forget, had mentioned the soundtrack doesn't really match the movie or something. I looked into this. Aloe Black covered Fortunate Son and Back in the Saddle and a couple other things. I think it fits in the spaces that it's in. The only one that I absolutely love, and I was shocked to even realize that it was, there, was the Linkin Park song at the end, Roads Untraveled. Absolutely love that. As far as the actual film score by Nathan First, I think it fits the movie well. It actually fits the game franchise fairly well, too, because most of the game scores are obviously upbeat and also low as well in certain moments. You guys had asked if any of the Need for Speed things, or you had mentioned that you weren't sure if the Need for Speed things run on story. Some do, some don't. A lot of the earlier games didn't. It was just races. Since about 2002, 2005, they've had a game story almost every game. At some point between 2005 and 2008, they switched back and forth every other year with what the type of story was going to be. Like, I remember going from 2005 to 2007. 2005 was Most Wanted, which is one of my favorites. Actually, it might be my number one favorite Need for Speed game. That was basically cops and robbers and all that and everything else, like the normal one. And then 2007, they released Pro Street, which is more of a Gran Turismo kind of thing where you're actually on a racetrack kind of a deal. I don't like those Need for Speeds as much. The movie is what it is, guys. It's not the worst video game movie. Hell, it's not the worst movie ever. There are movies out there that are far worse than this. It's just a very simple movie. And I guess for me, most of the time, I'm a fairly simple guy, so it kind of appeals to me. Anyway, just thought I'd send this in to you guys and let you know my thoughts on it, because I actually wanted to be on this episode because I was and am a fan of the video game franchise. So, I guess I'm here now. I'll catch you guys later. Keep on watching those bad movies so we don't have to.
There you have it. A true fan of the video games and a fan of the movie's opinion on the movie. We're not opposed to dissenting opinions here. And I think Mike put it pretty well when he said that, you know, it's a pretty simple movie, but I love it. Because I think that fits a lot of the Cinema Geeks brand. There are a lot of movies out there that are not great movies that we still enjoy. And I think we can all agree that this isn't the worst video game movie. This isn't the worst movie we've covered, and we haven't covered many animated video game movies. I've heard nothing but terrible things about, say, the Angry Birds movie. So that's going to wrap it up for this bonus mini episode of the Cinema Geeks. If you ever want to get a hold of Cinema Geeks, you can tweet directly at the Cinema Geeks Twitter account, which is at Cinema Geek Cast. You can also get a hold of Dan at Movie Revolt. Kevin is at Optimus Solo. Amanda is at Hard Candy Mandy, Eyes No Wise. And I am at Fridley Scent. I have open DMs. If you have any dissenting opinion and you don't want it out there in the public, feel free to personally DM me. I will always listen to a fan and their opinion on the show or what we've covered. And if you have an opinion that you do want there out publicly, go to iTunes, leave us a review. Be honest. Tell us how many stars you are. The only way we can get better is if you tell us what we've done right and what we've done wrong, so we can focus on those things. Thank you. And I hope you tune in next time for another chance to listen to the Cinema Geeks.